Hello, my stars. Welcome to ARTlapse, a series where I share a time lapse of my art and we talk all about creativity because the artist behind the art is even more important than the art itself. Today's topic comes in as a request for one of our followers, Shell. Thank you for this idea, by the way, and it is 30 things I have learned by my 30s. This list exceeds out more than just being an artist. It dives into being a human because I believe that being a human is an artist of your life. So there's a lot to get through, and let's go ahead and just dive in, shall we? Number one is you are not your thoughts. So learn to question your thoughts. You are the listener behind your thoughts, and you can choose better thoughts. Where you put your focus, it grows. Where your attention goes, grows. So you must learn to observe your thoughts and soothe your thoughts, or help guide your thoughts to a better place, or to simply let those thoughts that do not serve you go. Number two, focus on a space to cultivate a relationship with yourself, because it is the most important relationship you will have your entire life. And you need to really hold sacred space for that, to really nurture that connection. And you can do so through different activities like journaling or meditation. You're going to have to get curious and find what works for you. But work on creating a space for healing, because you have survived your darkest days. You've survived so many things, and we really need to learn how to heal and approach our healing and the space with patience, grace, and forgiveness for ourselves. Number three, get clear on your values. Take the time to learn about you with whatever tools help you, like Myers-Briggs or astrology, or there's so many different things out there. Human design, spread your wings, cast a wide net, and see what you resonate with, and use these tools to help you learn about you. This is so you can be intentional with your words and your actions. And the more in alignment you are with yourself, the better your life will flow, because it'll be in alignment with you. Number four, your worthiness is inherent. Know this and embody this. Is a baby supposed to do anything to prove their worth, or do they have inherent worth? A baby just does whatever they want and poops and cries and laughs and plays, and they don't censor themselves. They do whatever they want. They are free, and they don't have to prove their worth to anyone through any productivity. They are worthy simply by being, and so you must recognize this same inherent worth inside yourself as well. You exist, so you are worthy. Really embody it. Number five, learn to curate what you consume. We must learn to feed ourselves well, and this doesn't mean just food and diet, whatever we're eating. This includes, what are you reading? What are you listening to? What is the mind consuming? What is the emotions consuming? And what is your spirit consuming? So we really need to learn to be conscious with who and what we are surrounding ourselves with, because it does impact you. It does influence you. Number six, ask yourself what you should do and then decide. Then, if you want to ask advice from others, you can invite others in. But we must learn to think for ourselves first. That way we can actually do what is in alignment with what we resonate with what we feel, because the only ones who have to live with the consequences of our actions is ourselves. So we need to learn to ask ourselves what we want and allow space for that to be. Number seven, create a safe and supportive relationship with yourself through grace, love, support, and understanding. So this is everything we've talked about, but on a broader scale. where we need to view everything, the way that we treat ourselves, the way we talk about ourselves, the space we have a relationship with ourselves, the way we care for ourselves, the way we neglect ourselves, that everything we do is a relationship with ourselves. So we need to be our own best friend and watching our own back and staying on top of things that are affecting us because we deserve it. Number 8, make a timeline of your life and the conflicts you faced and what you learned from them. Your old story may be true, but it doesn't mean you can't write a new one. And this is so we can learn about the things that we shaped us, the lessons that we integrated, how it made us stronger, to reflect on the individual who has made it today. And then we can use those lessons and integrations to start writing a new, more empowered, loving, and supporting story for ourselves. Number 9, examine your unconscious programming and start to reprogram them intentionally. Our whole mind is basically a computer of different beliefs that others taught us growing up, or that we learned and picked up from different places. And this affects our money, this affects our career, this affects us socially, this affects our self-esteem. This has helped shape us into who we are. And there's parts of us that others passed on to us that do not serve us, limiting beliefs that when we take a step back and start to view these unconscious programs, we can start to reprogram them intentionally through affirmations, emotional freedom technique or tapping, and different modalities that we can really start to shape these beliefs and instill new, better feeling ones. Number 10, reconnect with your inner child. Your inner child still exists to this day and wants to play, wants to express themselves, wants to be creative, wants to be free. And if we don't have a relationship, we'll stifle and end up neglecting our own inner child, and only we suffer. So we really need to start to connect to these different parts of ourselves and understand where these things come from and what motivates us, and how to have an equilibrium and balance and peace inside. Number 11, you are your own parent, so it's up to you to care for yourself. Give to your body, nurture your mind, be there for your emotions, and support your soul every day if you can. Pay attention to your energy cycles, and if you're a woman or a person with a uterus, like your menstruation cycles and how these impact you on a broader scale and your energy, and really get in tune with yourself and know yourself the absolute best so that you can nurture yourself and really tend to the self in a supportive way whenever you need to, by being your own best parent. And if you didn't have a good parent, this is even more reason that you deserve to be your own best parent, because we must choose and belong to ourselves ultimately, which then leads into number 12. You should belong to yourself. This is how we create emotional safety. This is how we basically get away from seeking validation, seeking that attention, seeking other people to meet our needs, basically getting away from the victim story by taking responsibility in ourselves, that we belong to ourselves. It's up to ourselves to help us get into a better feeling space. And that doesn't mean that all of our problems are going to be solved, but problems and obstacles are natural parts of life, and they're parts that help test our spirit to grow and evolve, because if we were comfortable, we'd stay stagnant. And so that doesn't mean we can just resolve these problems and get better. I'm not approaching this with toxic positivity, but I'm saying it's our responsibility. We can get to a better place. That doesn't mean we solve everything and we bypass our total experience. It just means that we can lean on ourselves and trust ourselves to take care of ourselves, especially during those hard times, because that's when we need it the most. That's when we need the love the most. Number 13, you deserve the love you give so freely to others. You do. You don't have to give so freely to others to prove your worth, or to prove that you're a good person, or to just feel significant, or of value to other people. You deserve that in your own life too. You deserve to feel that same love, encouragement, support, nurturing, attention, validation, cheerleading, empowerment, inspiration. You deserve all of that to give to yourself. And in fact, if you give that to yourself, you'll be able to give that to others even more. Number 14, get curious and ask questions. This is how you find answers and solutions. We must learn to be solution-oriented instead of problem-fixated in our own lives, because the solution often exists right beyond the problem if we are able to get creative enough and objective enough to really think of and allow those solutions to hit us. You see, a solution cannot exist without a problem. We must have a problem to have a solution for it. And so we are acknowledging the problem, but we're not staying at the problem as a destination. We're recognizing there's more that we can work for and move beyond that, instead of getting stuck in the darkness and the void of our problems that make us feel powerless. Number 15. Every choice you make transforms your life. So learn to pick for your future self. This is why it's so important to get clear on who you are, your desires, and what your dreams are. Not what other people want to put on you, not what others expect you, because it's your life to live. And so we must keep making those choices, those small steps, those taking the breadcrumbs that lead us to our destination, that are one step further and closer. They don't take us away from our path, because every step, every single step will get you there. You can't get there without those tiny steps. So we need to really learn the importance and essentials of making these decisions, taking our time to make these important decisions with a clear head, so we can have clarity and we can feel resonance in our spirit that this is the direction for us to go to, because every choice is a commitment ultimately. And like a lease, you're committing for 1 year to live in a place. That's a big deal. So make sure it's a place you want to commit to, because you're signing away a year of your life to that place. So we must view everything like this as essential and as important, without getting bogged down into paralysis through analysis. So, number 16, you don't need anyone's permission to start anything except your own. Most of the time when we are applying for grants or applying for agents or publishers or different residencies or things like this as artists, we are often seeking outside permission and validation to start a project that someone outside of ourselves is like, yeah, that's a worthy use of your time. Yeah, that's like, you're on the right path. We're searching for those signs outside of ourselves. But the most important sign that you can give is to yourself, is saying, I want this. I am worthy of my dreams. My dreams are worthy of being born, and my creativity has value in this world. So I'm going to do this thing, because then you belong to yourself. You're not attached to anyone, and your fate is yours to command. You aren't hitching your ride to someone else's tailcoats or whatever organization that you are seeking that outside validation from. And that's how, when we belong to ourselves, rejection doesn't hurt. So it has its tremendous value to keep that peace and stability, knowing who we truly are, what we're truly worthy of, and being that support for ourselves will make us to belong to ourselves. Number 18, no is a complete sentence. Boundaries are key for you to thrive. It's up to you to honor them, however, and enforce them when needed. This is so you can fill your cup first, and then you can fill others. You aren't tied to anyone or obligated to anyone, and you're allowed to change your mind, because you're a multifaceted, ever-flowing, fluid being, and yes, like if we give our word on something and we take it back, that's going to hurt our dependability. So then we can work on taking the time and space for ourselves. So if being dependable is within our value system, then we can also embody that. That's why we need to learn about ourselves before we make commitments and decisions and what we value, so that we can embody those things and we can learn how is the best way for us to move throughout this world in the timing and space we need, so that we can maintain our boundaries, so that we can end up giving more quality to people instead of just expending all of our energy, having no boundaries, living for others. Meanwhile, who's living for ourselves? Who's choosing ourselves? Because someone has to choose us, you see. And that's why it must be us, and that comes with boundaries with people, what we're comfortable with. Once we have our space, we can claim our space, and it's not personal to anyone. Number 19, celebrate your wins and acknowledge how far you've come, because you have come so far and you belong to you. And someone needs to acknowledge and see, like, to really start to feel like we are becoming the person we want to be. We need to start acknowledging the signs and accomplishments and celebrate them, so that we can build momentum to embody and become that person even further by the stream of evidence that's outpouring from us that we are already that person. We are in alignment with that person, and so we are being that person. And when we are a free agent, we can do that for ourselves. Number 20, rest and pacing are key to the creative process. You must learn how to recharge. We are not a machine, and even batteries wear down and go empty and need to charge. So that's why we need to have grace and understanding and realize and recognize the tremendous value and fruitfulness, and really sink into the enjoyment of rest, enjoyment of breaks, so that inspiration can hit us, so that we can make space for new ideas to receive. We can make space for ourselves to exist outside of our work. We can make space for so much life to experience with us that are outside of our work, of our art, and we can really start to experience those different levels of life. Number 21. So this is why we must learn to not be so impatient and be in a rush all the time and just get to our goals, because we're missing out on living life. We need to learn to enjoy the journey and really relish in the unfolding and all the satisfying details, because this is what is so delicious about experience, is being able to really sink into the presence and space of all the blessings in your life and having tremendous gratitude. And this is how we build the momentum towards our goals. So give yourself time. Number 22, we are multifaceted beings with different wants and different needs and different interests, and we are so unique. And so is everyone else. So we need to keep this in mind and learn how to cultivate compassion with ourselves and others, and really just chase your interests and what lights you up, because this is what it means to be human. Because all of your life is going to inform your art, so live your life. Number 23, embrace change and the opportunities they provide you to grow. Embrace your evolution. You are a phoenix, and you are meant to always rise better, stronger than before from your own ashes, and be reborn unto the self. And while the old self dies, this is how we become our dream selves that embodies and lives in our dream reality, that with all the goals that we've been working towards. Number 24. I believe this is a Hannah Montana quote, but it is so true, and I use it to give grace to myself as well as others. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Like, this is a part of the human experience because making mistakes is how we learn sometimes. It's a part of the process, which can get messy, right? On being human. And as long as we learn from them and use them as opportunities to grow, condemning ourselves and others is not going to lead us to the reality and experiences and connections that we want to if we're constantly putting down others and shaming ourselves. We're only limiting ourselves and making ourselves small. So humble yourself enough to face those mistakes and learn from them, and you will be more realized and you will grow from it as an individual. Number 25. Everything in life is impermanent, so learn to approach endings with grace and love. Change is the only constant in life. So we really need to be conscious that everything will, if there will be an end one day, like we will be gone, everything will be gone. That is what Buddhism teaches. So that's why we need to treasure this present moment even more and see it and recognize it as the gift it is to live life and respect other life and have compassion for life. And this is how we become more fluid and we can approach endings, like if things get broken or if relationships end or we grow distant or we lose something in life, we can approach it with appreciation and love and for the experiences that we did have. This is how we can be more flexible in our lives and appreciate and value what we do have while we have it. Number 26, don't worry about the future. That's anxiety, or get stuck in the past. That's depression, because the present is a gift. That's why they call it the present. And that's a quote from Ugui, but I'm pretty sure that's like comes from Lao Tzu or another Chinese philosopher. But it's true. This is how we can sink into the present moment of our life by focusing our attention, because where our attention goes, grows. And if we can really sink into the details of the current moment we are in and have fullness and presence and attention on that moment, we're going to reap so much more joy, so much more experience, so much more value, and so much more life out of life. But if we get stuck in the delusions and the illusions that exist in the mind, I call it the Hall of Mirrors, and we're talking about or focused on stories of the past or people of the past, or we're worried about future events that haven't even come here yet and we can't do anything about it, even if it did, like that doesn't serve us. That strips us of our power, and we become immobilized as we just live inside the mind and focus on these anxiety cycles, the hamster wheel, and we're disconnected from our body. So a good way to get into the present moment is to get into your body. Go on a walk, do some yoga, stretch, like play a game, something that's kinesthetic. Even writing in your journal, because that's kinesthetic, not typing on your phone, but writing. Moving your body gets you into this present moment, because the mind is then focused on your body, which lives in this moment. Our minds can live anywhere. And so that's why we really need to put reins on the mind, and we need to be the ones in control, not just letting the racehorse sometimes, or the Buddhists call it monkey mind, control our life. We are in control of the monkey mind, which is a wonderful servant but a horrible master. Number 27, everything in life touches. Everything in life is influencing each other. If we become conscious of this and realize actually how sensitive everything is, we can then start to change and approach our life with curiosity and adjust and become more strategic and intentional with our energy, with our actions, with our words, and what we allow, what we don't allow, or what we can contribute to a situation or a dynamic that can help change the flow of it, you see. Because everything in life touches, everything is connected in some shape or form, everything is influencing. Like if you look at water in a lake and you see ripples come out from a pack of ducks, and then ripples come out from a pack of geese, and those ripples touch because everything in life touches. Our energy is sent out into the universe and we have an impact. We touch others and others touch our lives as well. Number 28, everything is energy. How your body feels impacts your feelings. How you feel in your feelings impacts your mind, which impacts your thought stream, which then impacts your belief system, because beliefs are just thoughts you keep thinking, and then beliefs become actions. So everything is cyclical. Everything, since it's energy, what we're talking about is influencing and affecting each other, including ourselves. So if we become conscious of this and intentional, we can really begin to start transforming our lives and evolving into the next version of ourselves by aligning our thoughts, actions, intentions, emotions. And this is how we achieve alignment and balance and peace. Number 29, use intention and visualization to chart your course. Learn to see the bigger picture and to be objective in your own life. Because, for example, your subconscious mind will never want to prove you to be a liar. It'll always want to prove you to be right. So whatever is existing and living in your unconscious thought stream, which makes up like something crazy, like 97% of your actions and the way you move through the world is from your subconscious mind. If we can really start to clean up our subconscious and start to visualize and place intentions and affirmations, that's where we can start to chart a new course. Because if we start believing different things, our subconscious mind is going to want to prove us right, you see. It's going to want to find those signs, find the proof, find the evidence, because it always wants to make you right. Now, number 30, last but not least, create beautiful memories. Life is a book of memories. That is all your life is. It's a series of events that you experience. And that's why we must be conscious and present in our life, because we want to write cool, amazing, beautiful, deep, epic stories. And this is what creates the chapters of our life, because our life is meant for us to look back on it. It's meant for us to look back and appreciate, so that we can return to those chapters. Because when we lose people or lose pets or lose relationships, when endings happen in our life, we want to make sure we were present in the memories that matter most, so we can return to those with an open heart and a soul full of gratitude that that person or that relationship or that connection was a part of our life that helped make our life fuller and more dynamic and beautiful. And if we just worry and are always rushing and not conscious, and we're just always chasing that next goal, and we're not present in our life at all, and we're not even living it, and we're just expending it for others to make others feel better, but no one is choosing us, that's the life that we're writing. That's the story that our older version of ourselves will return to, and we deserve better than that. We deserve to have a beautiful life as well. We can share that with others too. But we need to learn how to be fully present in the moments that we are living, because that is the whole point of life. Life is for the living, because when you're dead, there's nothing you can do anymore. So the more present you are in your life, the more in control you are of your story. I hope you live an absolute epic, spectacular, adventurous, magical, delicious, satisfying, excitable story full of blessings. But remember, it all starts in your mind. Head on over to my Instagram to enter the Magikats giveaway, which features this design printed on a holographic tote bag. Magikats Book 1, The Wand of the Vale. Magikats Book 2, The Mystery of the Moss, a bookmark, and an enamel pin. The winner will be selected on the 8th. Enter now and good luck!